All right, Bengals Steelers was absolutely intoxicated. We're going to do the Karen Hill, why did you do that coaching decision of the day. If you're ever incredulous about a decision that someone makes, or maybe you're under the influence of narcotics, you really end up sounding kind of like this.
Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do that, Karen?
Did you ever scream that at your coach? Why did you do that? Why? Karen probably right in that situation. They would have found it, but irrelevant. What did you scream? Why did they do that about it at your TV today, about your coach or the opposing coach? So I mentioned Bengals Steelers, an insane football game with missed kicks and blocked kicks and potentially looks like a major injury for TJ Watt. This is deep into the weeds here, but if you followed Bengals Steelers the whole game, even if you were just following on Red Zone, why didn't Zach Taylor look at that Jamar Chase catch where he caught it right on the goal line, and he caught it, and then they just went out and they said he was out at the 6-inch line? Even the announcers saying, oh, I think that was a touchdown, they should look at that. And then they bring in, Gene Steratore, the official review. He's like, oh, that's a touchdown, they should look at that. And the Bengals did this weird thing where they did like a hurry up to get to the line and never even considered it. It always is mind-boggling to me that there is no one on staff for a team who has the wherewithal and the initiative to just watch the TV broadcast and listen to the audio and scream at the head coach, review this, because they would have got that touchdown. He purposely runs that route on the line so that when he catches it, it's immediately a touchdown. The other thing the Bengals messed up with all their things with the injured long snapper and all that, they punted the ball back to the Steelers when they were supposed to be melting it. They punted it with 1:03 left and 15 seconds left on the play clock. 15 seconds. And then the Steelers ended up winning on the last play of the game. So that's the little stuff. When you're watching that and they make those decisions and you're trying to figure out why you would do that, you scream things like this.
Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do that, Karen?
I don't know why he did that, Zach Taylor, but the Bengals get that and they get an 0-1 record to start. Next, you play high school sports probably of some kind, even junior high school sports. You ever get told to take a lap? Take a lap. Get out of here. Take a lap. Run around. You're not kicked off the team. You're not a bad player. You're not suspended, but just get out of my sight for a second. Take a lap. You know who needs to take a lap tonight? Not a guy you might expect. You know who Trenton Gill is? Of course you don't know Trenton Gill. Trenton Gill is a rookie punter for the Chicago Bears who won today and who were awesome, and they beat the 49ers. But Trenton Gill is a punter, so he's the holder for the Bears, and considering the torrential rain in Chicago today and the conditions, Trenton Gill was called for unsportsmanlike conduct. This is what this poor kid did. Did you hear this? He brought a towel to the spot where the kick was going to go down. He was going to do his hold and started blotting the grass for water, just blotting it. And this is a guy playing his first ever professional game. Trenton, you can't do that. You can't bring a towel and start working the field before the kick. Why not just bring one of those squeegees? Or what was the infomercial product? The ShamWow. Bring a sham. I mean that. You know how you do this, where if you're one like someone that makes your skin crawl, you open the pizza and you take the napkin and you blot the grease on top of the cheese. That's what Trenton Gill was doing, and he got a penalty. Trenton, you guys won today. I'm happy for you. But you're Trenton Gill, rookie holder. I understand you were trying to play smarter. Don't blot the grass. You're not allowed to do that at the professional level, son. Thank God you won and you don't have any more grease blotting. Trenton Gill, take a lap. Next, our John Kuhn fantasy thief of the day. I used to always have a lot of Packers on my fantasy team during the end of the Favre era, early Rodgers. And I just remember John Kuhn would get a touchdown. Kuhn. I love John Kuhn. He's in the media now. He's a really good guy. But is there anything more frustrating when it's like Rodgers in the shotgun? There's 4 wide, and you're like, oh, it's going to be who the hell knows? Whatever wide receiver or tight end you have. And then he just turns and hands it to John Kuhn, who just falls forward with that forward lean and scores a touchdown. That's the fantasy poacher of the day. You know who gets it today? One of the most brilliant personalities in the league. Jamal Williams of the Detroit Lions, who put up a lot of points against the Eagles and came up just short. There was 2 times that DeAndre Swift, who had a monster game, gets them down to the goal line, and then they just trot in that. Is that the worst feeling in the world? There was one where DeAndre Swift had a 25-yard reception, went out at the 1-yard line, and you're a Swift owner, and you're like, oh yeah, everyone said I was stupid for drafting a Lions running back. Well, watch this. And then Swift gets up, and he kind of just looks over to the goal line and starts that trot, and you're screaming because, they high-five. He high-fives Jamal Williams as he comes on. Don't high-five him. That's with the enemy. He's not on our roster. Jamal Williams right in. Did it twice. Great personality, but an SOB today in the fantasy world, Jamal. No one was starting Jamal Williams. I love you, Jamal, but you were the John Kuhn fantasy thief of the day. Next, you familiar with the movie Cobra, starring Sylvester Stallone as Sylvester Stallone, aka Marion Cabretti? There's a part where there is it's really heavy. It's an active shooter in a grocery store, and he's saying that he's going to tell Cobra that I'm going to blow up this whole store. I'm going to blow up the whole store, kill everybody in it. And you want to know what Sylvester Stallone as Cobra says back to him? I don't think this meets the seriousness of the situation. But after he says he's going to blow up the whole store, this is what Cobra says back.
Go ahead. I don't shop here.
Hey-o! Hostages, people have been killed, very serious situation, but Stallone, Cobra, go ahead, I don't shop here. We're going to take that, and the go ahead, I don't shop here line of the week from a player comes from Tyreek Hill. It comes from the cheetah. See if you can follow the deep, nuanced metaphor he lays out for his victorious head coach, Mike McDaniel, after he was so bold in his coaching style in defeating the Patriots. See if you can follow this. Go ahead, Tyreek.
Man, man, McDaniels, he's gonna need a wheelbarrow, man, for his nuts to carry around, man, because he got a lot of cojones, you know what I'm saying? So, does he call by him?
Yes, we do know what you're saying. I like that he checked in to make sure that Mac Daniels, which I love, never mind that it's McDaniel, he's going to need a wheelbarrow, I think it was for his nuts. What you like there from Tyreek is the subtlety, is that he doesn't really want to hit it on the head, so to speak. He just wants to broad stroke the brilliance of McDaniel. That may be the go ahead, I don't shop here line of the year, in which Mac Daniels needs a wheelbarrow for his testicles, because that's how bold he is. And frankly, he may be right. It's going to be tough at airport security with the wheelbarrow and whatnot. I don't know how he handles planes, but in Mike McDaniel's first coaching game as a professional, his offense was taking a knee against Bill Belichick in a game in which the Patriots were never really in. And get ready for Patriots takes on Monday. One more time, Tyreek Hill, you can go ahead and blow up the grocery store. Why, Cobra?
Go ahead. I don't shop here.
Don't shop here. What does it bother me if you destroy the produce section and everybody in it? If you haven't seen Cobra, how dare you? We have to bring it up with Josh Allen on Tuesday. Speaking of the Dolphins, the next is the place at the table team of the day. A team that belongs. A team after week one that said, okay, you guys got something. We were really unsure about you in the offseason. We were really unsure about you maybe in the first quarter. But you got something. What do they have, Steve Latimer?
Starting defense. Place at the table.
Yeah! I'm going to doubt that Tua is going to go around the parking lot at Hard Rock Stadium bashing his head through cars of fans, and he shouldn't. But the Dolphins do have a place at the table, guys. They do belong. They belong. They ran. Tua got the job done. They hit the long one to Jalen Waddle. They got Tyreek extremely involved, especially early. I think that was the top 5 question of this offseason in the NFL. Maybe a top 3, maybe even top 1. Tua, Tyreek, McDaniel. It seems a little weird. Tua's never played well. Tyreek was a product of Mahomes, allegedly. And as I like to say, Mike McDaniel looks like he was pulled from a Wes Anderson movie, and he's the head coach of the Dolphins. Guys, it worked really well. In that first week, they smashed the Patriots, and I know the Patriots have a history of losing in Miami. I will say the same thing I said about the Packers, about the Patriots. I don't really think they were ever in this game. They made a couple plays, and Mac came back, but Mac was not good. All of this stuff in the preseason, you hear about the offense this, the offense that, flat. And give Miami credit. One of my favorite flexes is, so the Patriots get there for days to try to get adjusted to the heat and everything. I like turning on the game, and the Dolphins are like, screw you, we're wearing white jerseys and white pants in this heat, which means you got to go dark and dark. Do you see the Patriots uniforms today? Navy jerseys, navy pants. Even Belichick was wearing a white, some sort of windbreaker. I've never seen him wear that in his life because of the heat. Players out there, full navy. But I have to tell you, Tua, McDaniel, Tyreek, et al., the Dolphins defense, they belong. They got a place at that table.
Starting defense. Place at the table.
Have you ever seen the program? My producer, Sam Pepper, also announced his resignation because he's never seen the program. And I'm offended and triggered. It is the preeminent 90s sports movie. I don't care about all those other ones. Those are the ones. And I feel like the Dolphins embody them today.